it's so crazy because like something I was doing for fun out of boredom turned into like an actual like career. I'm just like, what?
In this episode, I interview a creator in all forms of artistry. Her name is Dami, also known as Chokodami X, and she has become known for her bold fashion looks on Instagram. So stay tuned for a conversation on the journey and experiences of a content creator. Dami, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited. I just have to say, I love being in the presence of another tall, beautiful girl.
Don't.
Yeah.
Yes. I get really like, honestly, like it makes me feel good that you feel good about that.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
I enjoy seeing like other like Black women. It's gonna sound so cliche again, but I like that energy. Like I love that.
Me too.
Like,
the confidence.
Welcomed. Yeah.
100%. How tall are you?
I'm 5'10".
Me too.
Yeah, but in heels, like I look like a gigantic.
Oh
like,
yeah.
I look like an Eiffel Tower compared to everybody else. Like,
it's beautiful and it's wonderful. I love it.
It's crazy because it really took like a while to like embrace that height. You know, because everybody kind of makes you feel like alienated a little bit.
Yeah.
But then you kind of like embrace it. So, you know, it's kind of like my little what's my little flex in a way.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It's something that you should flex. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be tall. Hello. So I am really excited to hear, to learn more about you and to hear about your journey into this space as a creator. So how did you get your start and how were you able to grow your platform to over 100,000 followers?
So how I started was in towards 2020, when the pandemic first happened, and everybody was heavy on social media because there was no
there's nothing to do
interaction, because we had to like stay inside. So like me personally, I've always been interested in like fashion, beauty, like in my family, like I was known for somebody that's always talking about like clothes or like anything that has to do with like the media, So in 2020, I was like, might as well just start taking like a lot of content. And then like I realized that I was getting like numbers, and it's so weird. It's so crazy because like something I was doing for fun out of boredom turned into like an actual like career. I'm just like, what? Like this is crazy. Like it sounds like something that's like not a big deal, but to like not know to start something and not really know what you're doing, and then like to see the other end of it, the outcome of it is insane to me because. It kind of like gives me a reassurance that you just have to just start. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
For anything you do, just start. You never know.
No, for sure. And it's interesting because I had a similar entrance into the content creation space. It was in 2020. I feel like that was a time when a lot of people just started exploring their passions
their
and
creativity.
Their creativity for sure, because it was such a lonely, like strange time. And there was just nothing to do. So I think a lot of beauty was born out of that time.
I felt robbed out of my social life. It was
really. It was
insane.
Sad.
We're in our early 20s, so it's like or 20s in general, so it's kind of like having that like lockdown was just like, bro, like really, like now I really have to like figure a different source.
Yeah.
So, but back to your question, to circle back to your question, how I started, right?
And I want to know, like, what do you think was the biggest factor in your growth? Like, why do you think you were able to get to 100,000 followers over,
It's definitely my support system, 100%. 100%. Like, the people that follow me are like, there's a certain type of loyalty they have. And it's just like, I don't think there's any money that could buy that could make me like how else I would say thank you to them, because they really support me in like anything that sometimes I post like some whack stuff, even though like I don't support posting whack stuff. I support like posting like your best, not your best, but like, you know what I'm saying?
Just keeping the brand,
intact. You know what I'm saying? So like, but they support like me heavily. And I feel like that really kind of encourages me to even like work harder or even try something different. Try, and like live like my fullest potential. Even though I definitely haven't even scratched the surface of my fullest potential. I just know that like the people that support me, as in like my followers, my friends support me heavily. My mom supports me. So I can't sit here and tell you that the support system wasn't a huge part of you know, my to where I'm at right now. Even online, some pages like they repost me, they always tagging me, like, and then like I think Twitter as well. I can't even lie to you. I'll be lying to you if I didn't tell you Twitter was a big factor, because I
Blowing
remember
up on Twitter can do a lot.
Yeah, like Twitter, like you might not make money off of Twitter for a living, but when it comes to like people knowing, like seeing your face and like who is she, like, you know, they're gonna repost you. Like like Twitter is a very funny place, because like they might not necessarily like the things you say, but if you look good or if you're stylish, they're gonna help you out. They're gonna repost you, you know. So a lot of my photos went viral, and then they decided to follow me on Instagram, and then I think like in the explore page, just a lot of different factors. Like I really don't know how else.
That makes a lot of sense. So in what ways do you think that your life has changed, like from before blowing up to now, like both in positive ways and maybe also in negative ways?
My life has changed in a way that I've found myself. Like I never thought I would ever say, but like social media, like kind of, or like the career that I have right now helped me find myself. Helped me find like, you know, I have like perseverance. Like I have like a certain type of like what's the word called, like when you just keep, is it dedication? I don't know the word, but I'm looking for it. But like
perseverance is that word for
yeah.
sure. Yeah,
like I don't stop. Like even if like I'm at a very like not the best place, I'm gonna keep going. You know what I'm saying? I've grown so much in like the career that I have, in like my character, as far as character wise. You know, certain things about myself, like from a few years ago. If you was telling me that I used to be like that, I would never believe you, because I've changed so much. So it's like even the opportunities I get from like people wanting my attendance just to show up to an event, you know, and paying me for that. Like what? Like I used to shop and like go crazy to like, be the first one to get your item. Now you want me at your, and personally, like I don't even think like I've even gotten to like where I'm like, you know, want to be yet. So for them to even like, for the opportunities I'm getting right now to even be around me is like, I don't even know the word to use, but like it's kind of surreal. It's really like, if this is like the level one, then like it's kind of like a lot of optimism.
What's next?
Like what's next? Like what's level 10? Like
I know what you mean. Yeah. And you know what? Speaking of what's next, I noticed that you have more of a presence on Instagram than you do on TikTok, right? And I think that that's relevant right now with what's going on with Instagram's competitor, TikTok, in light of this potential ban of TikTok, right? So, you know, that's having a lot of content creators think like, what's next for me? But I noticed that you have more of a presence on Instagram. Is that on purpose that you've done that? Or is it just, you just never really got into TikTok?
That's actually a question I get all the time. And like every time like I post reels, like I actually just started posting reels like like last year, like around like the summertime. So it's going to be almost a year now. But I used to never post reels, never want to post like any type of videos at all.
Wow.
Mostly because like it came from a, like if I'm getting numbers from pictures, I didn't know like how they're going to react to like seeing my personality, seeing like how I behave, or seeing like, you know, my demeanor and everything like that. Because a lot of that kind of does affect how people see you. And a lot of it came from anxiety as well. I can't even lie to you.
Yeah.
Because like I would just post pictures. I know it's gonna do numbers, but a lot of it was anxiety and like of what they're going to react. You know, like how they're gonna receive me. So I didn't even bother with TikTok. I was just like, let me just start with getting comfortable posting reels on Instagram.
No, you know what? I think that's a very universal thing that you're feeling. I've heard a lot of people have this fear of posting on Instagram, especially reels, because like Instagram for the longest has been a picture platform.
Picture perfect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like pictures edited, posted, like that's it. And now that Instagram is trying to compete with TikTok, you know, we have to post videos to keep up with the algorithm, and it's a lot of people have a lot of anxiety towards that.
And it's like, where does anxiety even come from? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of levels to it. It's a lot of levels to it. It's like even confidence as well. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm open enough to admit that like people see me and they're like, I love your confidence. But it's like and it's like I'm still growing. Like I'm growing my confidence with you guys. Like you guys are literally like watching me grow. You know what I'm saying? Like from posting no reels at all to start posting reels, and now I'm like just starting my TikTok.
Yeah.
You know, it's like little do they know that like I'm growing with them. And so people that come to me for confidence, I'm like, listen, like just it really just starts with like. I don't even want to sound so like cliche, but like it's literally like self-love, you know? Like you don't always have to, you have to love yourself enough to know that you don't always have to be perfect. You don't always have to look perfect. You don't always have to like be the expectations that people expect you to be. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? That's not even cliche. Yeah. That is so true. Yeah. Because sometimes we feel like self-love is all about, you know, those little picture perfect things that people do on social media. No, first of all, it's a lot of work. And secondly, it's a lot of self-forgiveness as well. Like you said, like learning that you don't always have to look perfect or be perfect in any way. That is a huge part of it, because a lot of that, you know, lack of confidence comes from us being scared or being perfectionists.
Yeah, and there's layers to it too. Like I don't even want to say the skin color. I don't even want to say like, I don't even want to go there, but if I do, this interview is going to be like 3 hours.
I know. Trust me, I know. It's like, don't even get me started on that topic, because that's, it's like 10 times harder for us.
No, for real. And it's like, but overall, truly, like, there is no real reason why I'm not on TikTok. It was really just like I needed to get comfortable with like posting videos. Yeah. You know, and so I started with Reels. So now I might start. They're saying they're going to shut it down. I don't know.
What do you think about the TikTok ban? Do you have any thoughts on it?
I've been hearing a lot about the ban since like
for like 2 years now.
For like 2 years since like even 2020. Like even during the lockdown, they were saying that TikTok is going to get shut down. So I'm just like, why do they keep saying the same thing? Like at this point, like, I don't want to say I don't believe it, but I think like regardless if it gets shut down or not, it's going to be a benefit to people that's already on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Because it's
for people
more
like you.
Exactly.
Because everybody's going to be moving back to Instagram. That's my, you know, not concerned, but that's what I'm wondering is like, is Instagram going to become the main platform again? Or is it going to be, because I've been seeing a lot of TikTokers moving towards YouTube and kind of this resurgence of long form content. You know, and YouTube used to be that place that you would go to when you wanted to watch like your favorite creators' real lives. Right. So maybe that's going to make a comeback. I don't know.
Honestly, I can't even lie to you. I actually just started my YouTube as well. So if YouTube is also the next platform, I'm ready. Yeah. I'm ready for YouTube because I feel like because like, you know, with TikTok and Instagram, you kind of have to make limited seconds to get their attention. You know what I'm saying? People don't watch stuff longer than 30 seconds. They're ready for it to be over, you know? And so like...
That's not easy for creators.
Because we want to show you guys everything. Like, so if YouTube is a new like platform, I would not mind it at all. Like,
you know what? At first, when I heard about the TikTok ban, I'm not going to lie, I was in favor of it. Because I know... But you know what? I had to look more into it to realize how concerning it actually was. But at first I was in favor of it because, like you said, I just feel like it's done a lot of damage to our generation in terms of like our attention spans, like you said, our mental health, like screen addiction, and you know, comparison and things like that, and just our intellectual growth in general. I don't know. I felt like we could all benefit from a little time off of
you know? Not even permanently, but like...
Yeah, but then the more that I looked into it, I was like, this is actually very concerning because it's an extreme overstep, you know, on the part of our government, that they're, you know, prioritizing this, you know, an app over so many other pressing issues that are going on in our country. So it's just like...
I fully 100% agree with you. Yeah. Because when I seen that, I was kind of like, there is like... Is anybody talking about the economic? I don't even want to get into the politics, but like the economic state of the world is
and being in New York,
attention especially in New York, especially if you live. It's crazy because I thought it was just like a New York thing, a USA thing, but this is all around the world. Like this is a universal like issue, and like their prioritization is we're banning TikTok. Yeah. Like what?
It makes you wonder what's the real motive here, you know?
Like. I feel like their priorities are they're never for the people. It's always kind of like a self
It's a paper chase as well.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, because they know that TikTok is taking money from them. So, like you said, that could be a whole nother conversation. But, you know, it also just makes me wonder, like, how important do you think it is for content creators to diversify their presence on multiple platforms, you know, in the face of this potential TikTok ban?
Like how important it is?
Yeah.
I think honestly, like for content creators, we already have like a lot of ideas that we want to give like our audience all at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So having multiple platforms kind of like is in a way helpful, because like there might be some things that you don't necessarily want to post on Instagram, but you got a different source. You got TikTok, or something that you want to post on YouTube, but you don't want to post it there. You can post on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? So like for some people it's helpful, but for some people it's actually kind of stressful in a way, because you know it's a lot of
work.
Nobody wants to admit it, but it's a lot of work.
You know why I think people don't want to admit it? Yeah. It's because they feel like no one's going to believe it.
Right.
It's like, I feel like people think that content creators don't work.
Child.
But when I tell you, because even I, you know, I create content on, you know, just because I feel like everybody can and should create content.
Exactly.
And it's not easy.
It's not.
It is not light work. No.
I mean, like for the creators that really do care about their work, especially then, like, you know what I'm saying? But in general, people like in the outside world, like when you're in society and we're all saying like what's our careers, right? If you say like, oh, I'm a creator, or I'm a content creator, or I'm an influencer, you know, automatically they're gonna assume like you're not smart. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have a real job.
Yeah.
But the society is changing, the world is changing.
Yeah.
So this isn't like 1999. This is 2024. So people have to acknowledge that if we're making money from it, clearly there's something that we're doing that has some sort of intelligence and value. You know what I'm saying? Like because if everybody could do it, wouldn't everybody do it and get paid for it? You know, but there's clearly like a certain type of talent or some sorts of like, you know, skill that we're doing well.
Yeah.
You know,
I heard someone say something about Kim Kardashian, which is like, you know, a lot of people like to say that she doesn't have any talent, but someone said, and this is just so brilliant, like it is a talent to get people to like you. You know what I mean? To be a likable person and to get that many people to just follow you because they like you, and because they like your personality.
I didn't even notice that. You know, it's actually a talent.
It's a talent because not everybody can do it.
Can do that.
You know, like I don't know what the real definition of a talent is, but to me, you are talented if you do something that most people can't do. You know what I mean? So to me, you know, here's my thing. This is how I feel about content creation. I feel like I said, I believe that everybody can and should create content. 100%. I think we're all born to be creative in some way. In some form, right? Yeah. And social media has shown us that like you can literally, just through sharing your experiences, you can affect people and you can build a community. And that is a beautiful thing. And I think it 100%. Will never not be a beautiful thing. I just think that you shouldn't want to be an influencer just to be an influencer.
Just to be an influencer.
You know, like I feel like you have to add some kind of value to the space. So you as a creator, you inspire people and give them, you know, fashion inspiration. That is valuable. If you are an educational creator, then you need to actually like go out and educate yourself so that you can come and share what you've learned.
Exactly.
If you're a lifestyle creator, you need to be living a life that's actually, you know, interesting enough to create content about. You know what I mean? So it's like, you can't just, I feel like the issue with a lot of content creators nowadays is their lives have become more so about the content and not about actually living life.
The life.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like you go and ask a group of kids nowadays, what do you want to be when you grow up? Over half of them say influencer.
No way.
But like, what even is that? You know what I mean? Like,
that's a good question. That's a good point.
You know what I mean? I feel like we need to start emphasizing how you can actually use social media to, yes, help yourself, but also help others.
Help others.
And add some kind of value to the space.
And honestly, like, to even add on to what you're saying, I feel like that happens naturally. Because as you gain a community, you start to really like care about them in the sense that you're like, dang, like what could I do for them? You know, over time, like as you grow as a creator, because I'll be lying to you if I told you like me when I first started, I wasn't even thinking about like, well, how could I be helpful? Like how could I be like, you know, I was not thinking about that. I was just posting to post. And then I like by accident became an influencer or a creator. I can consider myself a creator. So, you know, over time, like naturally, you really kind of want to be helpful to people. You want to like, because you notice that like, wow, like so many girls are asking me these questions. So many girls are looking up to me, and the amount of messages I get. Sometimes I even get shocked. I get kind of confused.
It's like imposter syndrome. You're like, what did I do?
Yeah, I'm just like, what? Like really? Like, are you lying to me? Like, are you for real? Like, stop lying to me.
Yeah.
But they be so serious, and it's like, it's really kind of like, I think that also, like, to your earlier question, I think that also inspires me as well. Yeah. Like, when they come back to me, they message me, give me a DM and tell me, like,
that keeps you going.
Like, I think it was one message I got. I forgot what exactly she said, but I was like, wow. Like, I almost, like, wanted to, like, cry. I was like, wow. Like, the next morning, I got to it. I was like, let me get back in my, like, you know, I forget that there is people looking at me, like, anticipating what I'm going to post. Yeah. Or just inspired in general.
Inspired by you. I think that's one of the biggest things is, like, you're affecting people. You're inspiring people through literally just living your life and being yourself. That's such a beautiful thing. That's what I love about personal brands, right? Is like you're building an entire brand around yourself. And by doing that, you are actually making a difference, you know? So as my final question, I want to ask you, what are your future goals, maybe even beyond social media, and how do you plan to use social media to help you reach those goals and then also help others?
So my goal really, because I'm talented in multiple things, but you know, I don't want to say, oh, like I'm a jack of all trades, because like I have to prove it, you know. So if I want to take modeling seriously, you know, I want to be great at it. You know, if I was to take photography seriously, I want to be great at it. If I wanted to do, you know, whatever creative direction seriously, I want to be the best at it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So in anything I do, I want to have the message that you could literally become anything you want to do if you put your mind to it. You know what I'm saying? So, and also I want to give back. Like, is it like a humanitarian philanthropy? Yeah, I suck at saying that word, but philanthropy in Africa, in the United States, like all around the world. I really want to touch people, not only just like financially and create schools and I want to actually like be able to like touch their hearts in a way that like people are just like, dang, like I love who she is as a person. Maybe like I could be like that as well. Because some people I look up to, I used to look up to, I figured out who they really were as people.
And it was like,
and it's like
complete.
It was completely different. Yeah. Like I got really like fooled a little bit. So I want to be a difference in a way that people are able to be inspired by me and want to be like me in character. You know, so
a true good influence, a role model. Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, we need more of those, please. And I love what you said about, you know, wanting to show that whatever you commit yourself to, you can do.
You can do it.
And I heard something so brilliant the other day. So someone said, you know, if you want to change something about yourself, say you have like bad habits or you want to have better self-discipline, you need to realize that we already are all disciplined, right? We are disciplined, though, sometimes doing things that don't benefit us, right? So it's like we're all committed to things. Some of us are committed to doom scrolling on TikTok. Some of us are committed to binging shows on Netflix.
That's facts.
It's like whatever you commit yourself to, that's where the bulk of your energy is going. So it's like if you commit yourself to something, it will happen. That energetically, that's just how that works.
Automatically.
Yeah. So I think that's a great message to push.
Yeah. And like the person to even close it off, like the person that I see myself it's like I already am that person. I just have to like work to be that, to make it like a reality, you know? So that goes for anybody or anything, you know?
You already are that person.
You already are that person. You're already that girl.
Yeah, like, literally. Now just take aligned action.
Right, aligned action.
You know, continue being that girl.
100%.
Yes. Yep. Oh my gosh, you are that girl. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Like, those are all great questions, actually. I'm just like, like, dang, that's actually a good point. Like.
Yes. I would hope so.